right here on Fun University. Standpipes, running water, air conditioning. I love them. I love them when they work. Anyway, if you are new to Fun University, we are paper craft lovers. Oh yes, we are. We also like a good design. So we talk about design in this group. We will start here in a few minutes. Hello, Lee. Hello, Sharon. Oh dear. No water therapy for you, huh? I'm glad you're here. That's all right. We're going to get right at it soon, just a second. We've been doing our design. Our design element that we've been working with this month is proximity, and we've been doing bugs. So we'll get that started. If you are new, please stick around. If you like paper crafts, if you don't like paper crafts and you'd rather go see the deal guy, I like him too. So, what's new at Aldi's? You know, you got to know these things. I went to Aldi's the other day and I was looking for the stuff he told me about. But if you are not into paper crafts, that's good. That's fine. Don't stick around. We might get you hooked. So, right, Sharon? Right, Lee? Yep, it could happen. Hi, Catherine. Freeland, Washington. Where is that? That on the... I don't know where Freeland is. There's, we have another lady who's been with us from the get-go. She was our second student at Fun University when we were private, and she was just up the road from Seattle. McKenna, Washington. You're ready. They're ready. Do the school cheer. F-U-N. We don't have one. We need one. We'll give just one more second. 60 more seconds. And then I'll go official. On Whidbey Island. You have a lot of islands up there. My best friend growing up's mom lived on Lopez Island for many years. Seems so romantic somehow to live on an island. Not Fantasy Island. That sounded kind of, that was horrible. Hello, 5K. How are you? All right, I'm going official. I'm going to hit the record button or the intro button so we can be official. It's hard to be official. Hi, Patty Beck. It is just not I'm feeling very unofficial tonight, but we will try. We will press on. I got a lot to cover. Let's do it. Be right back. Hi, I'm Mary Gunn. Welcome to Fun University. Hello, I'm Mary Gunn of Mary Gunn Fun, founder and head professor of Fun University. Give me an F, give me a U, give me an N, give me another N. What's this spell? Fun. That's right. That's not bad. I never even thought of that one, Susan Smurf Murphy. Give me an F. You could do the sign too. Give me an F, give me a U, give me an N, give me another N. What do you got? Fun. What's fun? Fun. Anyway, welcome to Fun University. Where if you like paper crafting, card making, and all that good stuff, and you want to learn about design, let's just invite you to sit around and hang in there. Hello, Christina. Tonight we are doing, what is this? Cards Plus Lab number 3 for July 2021, and we are learning about the design element of proximity, and in relation, we're using bugs and insects for our little element, and our icon, image, whatever you want to call it. And we've been doing it in different size cards. We did the 4 1/4 square card the first week. We did an A2 size card last week, and this week, my friends, yep, we're stepping up to the 5x7. 5x7 is not very often used, and I think I know why. We don't like cutting the paper. We don't like cutting the card base. But the card base, I'm here to tell you, I'm giving it some second thought. I've been an A2 kind of girl for a long time, but this 5x7, I like the feel of it. And if you think about, why would you want a 5x7 card? Well, one, if you go to a store, they're almost all 5x7s. So there must be something about that size that Hallmark has done the marketing, and it must be popular. Another thing is it really does say so. It's big, and it kind of gives you some presence. It's kind of like, yeah, look at this card. And there's nothing wrong with an A2. There's nothing wrong with a little square. They're all darling. But I think these are fun to play with because they do have just that much more space. I didn't do the math to see square footage, so to speak. But you do have quite a bit more real estate to make something on it. What am I going to say next? Well, okay, let's go down to paper. We're glad you're here. If you are new to us, just say hi. There's no hazing or anything that you have to do to be part of this group. So just sit back and relax and enjoy some crafty time. This is my basic 12x12, right? One of the ways has more of a bendy side to it. Oh, this one doesn't want to get bent at all. But this one has a nice bendy side. So we're going to make the bendy side, we're going to turn it a quarter of a turn. So now the bendy side that is favorable to bending is going to go from top to bottom. First cut we're going to make is a 7-inch cut. Ta-da! That wasn't so hard. Then we're going to turn it a quarter of a turn, and we're going to cut it at 10. Now we're going to bend it and fold it. So that now, voila, we have a 7x5. Just like that. That's not so bad. What we are left with is this little guy, which is a very great little piece for doing little stamping on and sentiment stamping on. And we have this little piece that is 5x12. So let's go ahead and cut it at 4 1/4. So we have this nice little strip for a little sentiment. Turn this and cut it at 11. And now, yes, we have an A2 size card, just like that. Is there something under there? Yeah, there is. I kept seeing that shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and go at 5 1/2 and just give it a little help to want to start to bend and fold, even though it's not the bendy side. That way it won't crack as easily. There we go. We are good to go. Look at that. So you do end up getting 2 pieces out of a 12x12. You get a 5x7 and you get an A2 size card. So that's not a bad deal. Plus a couple little pieces just for grins, because everybody needs a little piece to stamp something on, and a little sentiment strip and another little sentiment strip. So you don't have a lot of waste there. While we are cutting, we're going to go back to this, but while we are cutting, let's go ahead. And the other thing we're doing this month is taking paper, and we are cutting one sheet into as many cards as we can, because we have discovered that some people have a lot of paper in their premises, and so we this week we all learned about this on Cut the Crap and Create in July, and it is on the YouTube channel with Craft Roulette. So we're trying to use some of our paper up. So this is as many cards as I know how to make with one sheet of 12x12, making 5x7s. So the first cut that you do is 7 inches, like so. You twist it, and you go at 10. This will be your one of your few scraps, but you can make another card with it. Did I make a card? Yes, I did make a card with it. Don't throw it away. And then you move it to 5. So you have 2 5x7s that are going to fit on the front of a card. Now you have there's that 5 again. So we're going to turn it and go at 7. So now we have a 5x5, and 3 5x7s, 5x5, and a strip that we're going to make into card fronts. That was pretty good. It worked out just fine. This is some old paper, Christina. If you do this, you shouldn't. I think it's harder to do with because you twist and things. So if it has a definite pattern to it, it's a little bit trickier, but this one didn't have any. It was upside down and backwards, so I didn't think it would matter. And it had a backside that was all monochromatic, which is really a cool paper. But you know what? I've had this paper for probably 10 years, and it's time to get it some purpose. So I'm going to set those aside for right now, and we will be checking in with how to make these cards with this. Okay, first we're going to look at some 5x7 cards and what you can do with them. Okay, let me get this guy. He needs a little bit of a crease. He's just popping up a little too much. Okay, so let me get these little guys over here. One thing you can do is you can cover it. You can just cover the front, so you can do random stamping like this card was, or you can use pattern paper, which is a great thing to use. So you can just cover the front. You can trim it down a little bit and mat it if you want, or just cover it so that it's stem to stern all the way from 5 to 7 completely. This was one we did last month in Cards Plus. We were working with fruit and vegetables. And so this was a piece that I stamped and then just stuck it on a piece. And see, it's a nice big card. I love it. Here's one that I made today. I was just wanting to play with some hamsters, and I haven't finished it, Christina. But this one I stamped today. You can just, since you have, these are nice, easy numbers, 5, and then if you had, you could have done 7, but I don't know what I made these too long, so they're not just an inch. But if you wanted to make inch squares, you could, but I ran out, and anyway, so I just put this down here. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I think it's mighty cute with these little hammies stuck in here. I love it. So you can do some really, but look how big that is. Isn't that, it says something. Or, so you cover those fronts, or you can start taming it and whittling it down into smaller, and putting smaller focals. So this one is a 3.5, I think, square, and so it just works all together, kind of blends together. This is nothing, this was just one I had in my stash, but it just cut down that shape, and so that you have a smaller focal, and you can have a big smaller focal, which sounds kind of funny. Hey, Bitty Penny, but you can have a bigger, smaller you could have a bigger, smaller focal than if you were working on an A2 size or a square card. So something to keep in mind. And one of my favorite tricks to tame down the big monster or the big piece is to make an A2 size card size and whoopsie, you fell off, and use the 5x7 base as its resting place. You say, well, why not just send an A2 size card? Because nothing says love like size. So if you just want to make it a little bit more bold, a little more presence, a little more, yes, I am here and I want you to have this card and I want to take up some real estate on your mantle. This may just be the ticket that you want. So, you know, say you're sending a card to somebody in Texas and everything's big in Texas. So you need to have a bigger card, right, Bitty Penny? Hi, Leslie. Welcome. Anyway, so you can use that 5x7 as a way to just be a little more demanding. You could also add another little mat behind that and pop that up so that it would have a little more presence as well. You can also just make that across like that. Anyway, if you're trying to use up some paper, use it up on some 5x7s. It's just a good thing. Another little thing you can use is some Picture My Life or some Project Life cards that are 4x6. If you have some of those laying around, this is a great way to use them. They fit right on there. Oh, I knew there was something else I wanted to put on here, so let me grab it. But that works out real well because the little ones are just ducky to use. But oh, that's not the one I want. Okay, just for the sake of demonstration here. But this is a great thing, and then you can doll those up and get rid of them. I love that. So you can also do it this way if you want. Look through your old, we bought so many of these at one point. So it's kind of fun to be able to doll them up, add some color, some string, a mat, some doolollies, just whatever strikes your fancy. You can actually even make it a card on top of a card, like a book binding card. So you could bring that over, stick a little piece here for a hinge, and then you would have a card on a card. If you have postcards that you would want to use, you can stick that on a 5x7 and it will absolutely fit. If you have a photograph that you want to, there's Mr. Producer. If you have a photograph that you want to feature, this is a great card to just go ahead and use that. You can take photographs of all sorts of things, and they turn out so pretty now, and put a filter on it, a funny filter, a Snapchat or something, and you can have a great card, and then you can doll it up too. So 5x7s are great for photos. All right. Then here's one I made that was today too. It was just so fun to make. If this was an A2, it would have a small presence. It would be cute and darling and charming. Look at all that liquid glass on there for some shimmer. Yes, yes, yes. But look what happens when it goes on this. It just has more presence. It just feels more important. Do you want to have your cards feel like everybody else's, or do you want them to be important? Well, I don't know. These are okay too. But anyway, it's just another way to think of it. And I think by the end of the evening, you may get a bug to want to make a few of these yourself. I hope so. Let's try it. We are going to be featuring a bee stamp tonight. It is just a single little bee stamp that I've had for a long time. It was what Close My Heart called an M stamp, and he's just one of my favorites. He's like quote unquote realistic, but if this sucker was coming at my head, I would be running because he wouldn't be very, very big. So I would not be sitting around to check his nectar sacs there or his pollen pockets. I would be running. He's big, but he's pretty. And I made some cards several years ago, and they were some of my absolute favorites. So I dragged them out for tonight. I made the plaid with the stamp and then some paisley, which is really fun. I don't know if I have that anymore. I hope so. And cut him out. I stamped him twice, stamped him in vellum, and then stamped him on paper and then colored him in, I believe, and then put his body on top of the vellum, and that's real pretty. That's a pretty little way to do it. I got another way to show you tonight. Here he is again with a little stenciled heart. He's kind of cute. And there he is again on some stenciled flowers. He's kind of cute. Again, same kind of deal. I think I have some gold shimmer on him. So anyway, I liked those, and I got the bee out, so thought, well, let's do that. Let's use this guy up. So here are my cards. I have already cut one piece of pattern paper. This guy I got ahead of myself. And then there's this one. So we have 5 cards that we're going to put together tonight, right here on Fun University. Let's get started. Okay, the one that I had on the Dealy Bopper today wasn't even glued down. So let's start with it so you won't think I'm such a disaster. But before we do, let me show you how I colored all these little bees. I did not use the vellum on their wings this time. I did use Copic friendly ink, which oddly enough was from Honeybee Stamps. Only use the ink that is appropriate to the stamp. That patchwork was all inked, Jamie. It was not pattern paper. It was all inked. I know. Where'd it go? I don't know where it went. There it is. I didn't want to lose it. That's all inked. I masked and inked and masked and inked and stamped. So, yep, that was fun. So there's the little dude right there. Next little thing I did was color his little body in. Nothing too fancy about this so far. The tricky thing on this dude is he's got these little skinny tiny legs and little skinny tiny antenna, and I just didn't want to cut that out real well, so I grabbed some really pale gray and a brush. You could use a sponge, and I went ahead and just got sloppy, but it didn't matter. I just didn't want to worry about a white line, so I made it all gray lines. And I still fussy cut them though, so it's not like it didn't, that I sat around and ate bonbons. Did not. But because of that little gray shadow everywhere, when you go to cut it, you don't see that white edge everywhere like a die cut. And there was no freaking way I was going to cut on the black line a la Sandy Boone. And because there, no, just wouldn't, no, just no. So just went around everything, left some space because his little, I didn't want his little antenna to fall off. That wouldn't work, just wouldn't work. And I didn't want a white space like a die cut. So what is a crafter to do? Just gray out the, blur the edges. Okay, so anyway, it goes on and on like that. The only other thing that I really did to this fella was take my gel pen and just give him a little more pop to those eyes. A little more wicked looking. Oh, I know, one other thing. I did outline the wings with some gray. And that was mostly because I didn't know I was going to do the gray shading yet. But that was all I did, and then I cut them out. You don't want something, because this, okay, here's the, when you're fussy cutting, you don't want a thick paper, but you don't want a super thin copy paper. But I wouldn't get the thickest cardstock because it's hard to cut without doing, you can't do the curves too well. But go look for that cheap medium grade stuff. And if you can get a good stamped image, go for it. That's what I would say, but if that's all you have, that's fine. I think I also put some sticky. Oh, I know what I did. I know what I did. I went ahead and got my packing tape out that I had still out from Tuesday night. If you didn't see that class, we were making these cool little guys with packing tape. Here we go. Am I mute now? Can you hear me? I must have hit it with my I think I hit it. I think. Oh, can you hear? I'm waiting. Tell me when you hear me. Tell me. I think it's working now. I think I hit it with a card. Because my audio is working. Waiting. I'm back. Okay, yep. I have this cool, let me show you. I have this cool little Stream Deck thing, and it's got this little thing, and I think I hit it with a card, and it was on mute. So I have that so I can cough. So, all right, sorry. I don't suppose we lost too much. Anyway, I've got just some things cut out here. This was a die cut, right? Just two pieces together. Trick on this guy, I was going to add these leaves, but I didn't know where. I wanted the bee coming in like this. So I didn't know where to put the leaves per se. So I went ahead and stamped him in that light gray so I could see where he was, and that's where he's going to reside after the card's put together. So I went ahead and stamped that and then did some ink blending. And then I thought, you know, I don't know if I like those bold. So I wanted to try something. So I took some vellum and scrunched it up and flattened it. And I'm not sure if I like it better or better for worse, for richer for poor. Maybe bright, but maybe light. Now I can't really see that too well, can you? Maybe bright. Okay. Well, okay, let me find another circle. We'll just get another circle. I happen to know that there's some around. Whether they're the right ones, we could even use a white one. That would just be fine. Well. Okay, that'll be good. We'll just use the white one. So much for artistic endeavors. All right, so that's what we've got going on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it down because we got more to do. And then here's what on proximity, which is the artistic element that is talking about putting things near each other to make them feel like a part of a cohesive unit rather than a little bit here, a little bit there, which is if you want that, you've got this whole big space, you could definitely get the feel of a little bit here, a little bit there. But if you want it to feel more all inclusive, so to speak, you know, it's kind of like you go to a resort. You go to a resort, they say it's all inclusive, but then you've got to get on a shuttle to go to the restaurants or something like that. And it's not so inclusive after all. And so it's just, it's the feel of the unit, it's the feel of all being together. And so, I mean, you could put this guy up here and it would make no sense, which, at least to this old girl. And you could put this down here and it wouldn't make much sense. But proximity would say, let's make this whole thing feel like one group. So let's put it a little closer to each other and let it feel like a family. So that's what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to stick this down. Because if you don't, especially with a bigger canvas like this, if you don't have everybody close to each other, hang on, I can't talk and do this one. There we go. It's going to be a little hit and miss, kind of scattered showers, and your recipient may be a little confused as to what to look at and experience and feel. So we want to help our viewers. I think I'm going to cut. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, put him down. I didn't put glue where I thought the ring would be. There we go. I want the ring underneath. So like about so. There's that little bee. We know where he's going to be. I might pop him up a little bit too. He seems like he could use a little height. So we do have a great big area. He could even be a little bigger, I think, in some ways. But what we're going to do is pull in some big sentiments if I find the last piece. And that's going to fill up a lot of the space. So I think overall it's going to be okay. Right now, this is not looking so good. It's looking okay. It doesn't look great. This is my ancient foam tape. It really doesn't stick that well anymore. It's almost 20 years old. I'm going to give it a little pass. Little kiss on the nog. There you go, mister. Here. Aren't you cute? He's shiny because he's got packing tape. Okay, so then I have happy birthday, and then I had one more word. Oh my word. Where'd he go? Well, it would make the card better if I knew where it was. I bet it will show up sometime tonight. But it's happy birthday hugs, and so we will just march on like good little soldiers, not give up hope just because of this. So, okay, so then we're talking about proximity. So if we do something up here, does it make it feel like it's all one unit? Not to this cowgirl, but maybe to you, but not to me. So I'm going to go ahead and move it down a little bit. And I know my hugs is going to go right here if I can find it. I wonder what I stamped it with. Bugs and hugs, I think. Anyway, I don't think it's very big. So we put those guys, how about if we do this? There's no feeling of unity, right? Because you got happy, fill in the blank, happy, not so happy, proximity. If you even did, how about up there and down here? You see what how I'm posing this so that you can go, oh, you know what? Maybe that does have a little lacking there. So they're not feeling like one unit. They're not close enough to feel like they're one unit. Remember that resort that they tricked you with. Don't want to trick our viewers. I'm going to go ahead and just stick these on, and hopefully I can find the hugs. Another thing is touching. If you are in the proximity of another, you will feel closer, obviously closer, if you're touching. If you're close enough to touch, it's not a bad thing. I'm going to leave a little space right there, but I'm going to touch the rest of this, and that will make that feel more cohesive too. See that big old space? Now, if you just had that on an A2 size card, it would be okay. It would be a lot though. And then if you have hugs, but it would be a very, very busy-ish card. But that, if you spread it out onto a 5x7, then you've got a little more, just feels bigger. Feels like, he needs to be, he's not very big, but I'm worried about this hugs. It looked good this afternoon with the hugs. Anyway, that's card 1. Let's keep moving on. Card 2. Another 5x7 with a 5x7 front. Got the doilies out today. I just saw them there and I hadn't used them in a long time, and I thought, well, they've got all these little scallops. This little doily might look kind of cute on it. So, hey, what the heck. Let's go ahead and just stick him down. I went to Michael's a couple months ago looking for doilies. And might as well just said, been asking something in Russian because nobody knew what I said was. What's a doily? But that happened when I went to Lowe's one time and was asking for manure, and they didn't know what manure was either. It was for, I thought everybody knew what manure was. For fertilizer. So, okay. Then I just pulled out a couple pieces, got a die cut. We could put it in the center. Got some leaves. Got some pieces to go on the die cut. And right now, if we use proximity and incorrectly, they're not going to feel all together. We've got a bee because we're going to put a bee on here. So if we have the, see, I just do it automatically. Okay, so if we have all the little pieces and parts and they're not together, it doesn't feel like the card knows what the heck it's doing, does it? It's like, well, yeah, am I supposed to put it together myself? I don't know. But so if we change it a little bit, I like a little off to the bottom. I'm just stuck. Let's try another side. I am absolutely stuck in the bottom left corner. So if we start pulling things together, he could even be coming in. You knew somebody, they used to call my grandmother Bee. That would have been a cute card for her. Do a little diagonal line there, or just a little cluster so that you've got a vertical, you've got some diagonal. Probably could use a little more horizontal. Just cluster those guys together. And I think, oh, there's that tissue paper. I wonder where that was. It was pretty much where it should be. Oh, the very idea. Since this was big, we could add some more stuff to go on too. You know what else? I'm thinking I want something a little more horizontal here. That may be too bold. Sit, stay. That's too much. Okay. Off you go. Maybe a little, maybe just cut it. A thin little thing. I think I want a little horizontal line. If you want to learn about line, and last month's class was on line, so you can go back and review that. Whoops. Could even do get kind of curly when they get so thin. I didn't design these before, so you're seeing it raw. Which is kind of fun. I don't know. It's kind of a crazy design, but I kind of like it. But now they're all together, as opposed to the beginning when they were scatterbrained and all over the front. Now you've got a little cluster there going on. Some vertical lines, some horizontal lines, some diagonal lines. I have to add something else in there. I don't know who that'd be. I'm going to keep that as is for now and see what I think in a little bit. Because I think I might it might grow on me. It's a little bit eclectic and a little bit odd for me, but I kind of like it. So I think I need to have a little more time with it. You know what I mean? Okay, we're going to have a little more time with it. But that's card 2. Card 3, what do we have? what were we thinking? Oh, I found a feather. I thought, well, maybe I want a feather on a card. Okay, so this is another one where we're going to, this is a 5x7 except for a landscape. And here we have the other side of this die cut. So we can go ahead and put that one down. I don't think there's anything that is going to, oops. I just thought that white feather might be kind of fun on this card. Feathers and bees, I don't know. They just don't go together at all, but at the same time, maybe they should. Should and could. Get this guy to lie down nice. There we go. Oops. Got a couple bees here. Do I only have 2? Nope, I have 3. Okay. So where are we going to put these guys? Are we going to have them all, you know, that looks like Mad Bee to me. It's like everybody's going their own way. Mad Bee, Mad Bee. And I don't think I want to send a card. Bees are kind of grumpy anyway for a card, but be nice. But, so I don't think I want them looking like they're mad bees. I think I want them to look happier bees. So they could even be, I don't, okay, let's get this feather in here and see what happens. It may not be a go. Just for fun. That's not bad. Just for fun. A little bee. Proximity says get those guys a little closer. That's hilarious. The feather. Bitty Penny, if you're still here, do you vote yes for the feather? Or do you say, oh my gosh, that's even stretching it for me? Go ahead. Make this into a little tag. You can just do a lot more on a big thing like this. I kind of like the feather, guys. It's playful. And my standpipe is not playful right now. It's leaking, and I want some playfulness. Okay. I think I could send this card and be happy to do that. I'm going to put this feather on the back here. I think I'm going to trim the feather a little bit. I know I'm going to hate myself in the morning. But that will give me a place to tape. I will have Kerwin fur and feathers. Okay, then I can just tape it on. There we go. Hilarious. Just need that right there. And these guys, they may need to be popped up too. Bugs and hugs and feathers, of course. Okay, let's put these bugs and hugs. You know, this has got that little... I am not going to slow down and make this all... Oh gosh, that didn't work at all. Okay, hang on. We got plan B. I don't. You could make this have a little bit more height so to deal with that wing thing, that feather thing. The feather vane? Is that a feather vane? I don't know what it's called. To make it so that this part stayed up at the same height. But you know, just gonna live dangerously. Dealing with bees, after all. Okay. You guys all be together. I'll be going up to see the queen. This guy. If I put these over here a little bit, then I don't have to worry about them sticking up. Because the feather vane, the feather vane, is definitely a contingency there. He's going to be bobbing around there if I don't figure something out for him. It is playful. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take him off there a little bit too. He's going to go off the edge, but not too much. You wouldn't want him down here because it wouldn't make sense. He doesn't really need to be over here in the corner because that doesn't really make sense. So you do want to have him somewhere. He can go off the pavement here and he'll still make sense with these other dudes. So, yeah, he needs something, popped him up there. Okay, so we'll put a little of the old ancient foam tape. How was that going to be? It was going to be about right here. So let's put that over here. That's so it's sticking out the side. Well, no, I don't think I've ever seen a card quite like this before. So that's kind of exciting. I think I'm going to put this guy on and then put this last piece of foam tape. Trickily maneuver it underneath this last wing. Okay, that will cover up the feather vane anyway. Maybe yeah. Let's stick that in there. You put some white gel pen on this. Oh, that'll hold that up. And since I've got that packing tape on them, they're a little stronger. So that's kind of good too, I think, on this particular card. That's darn playful, I'm telling you. So that's card number 3. Feathers and bees. Watch for it, and Simon says soon. Here's one where we have the 5x5 piece. Went ahead and did the doily. I'm not sure if I love the doilies right now. They're kind of hard to work with, but for me, I don't know. And then I pulled out some of these little things that we had Tuesday night. Okay, so Tuesday night, I random stamped these butterflies. And then I ended up cutting up the paper, and so some of them didn't have both sides of the wings anymore. So I went ahead and did surgery on at least one. Does this have? This doesn't have any tape on it. That one does. These 3 do. Okay. So that's what's that's what's going on with Wackadoodle there. He's special. So we could do something like this. Something very simple this time. No feathers. And I just cut out a die cut. And something very simple like that. Now, here we go with proximity. You could, and formality. If you had these guys all over here, you would be okay. Nobody's going to come in. The craft roulette police or the card police aren't going to come along and say, oh, that's just bad stuff. It's a little bit stiff, but because we have, doesn't it feel like 2 sections? Here's a section, and here's a section. Proximity says if you want those to feel like a cohesive unit, let's bring these guys together. And that's all you have to do. It's not too hard. Oh, I got a feather. Got a little feather on this guy. Get my little Swiffer there, that little. Let's see if I can get some of these things up. I don't know where they all are, but they are starting to go everywhere. I don't want them in my computer. So, okay. I knew I'd regret that. See, there's lots of feathers on here. I'm going to leave that there. Okay, good, good. And then this guy might be popped up. Yeah, he probably wants to fly up too. Go high, go high. And then this guy can be popped up a little bit. And we'll have card 4 done. Woo. And then we're down to that, just the strip. The last one, which is a strip on a 5x7, which you could cut down also, of course, and make it on an A2 or a bookmark, whoopsie, or other such paper crafty type things. Or you could put it in your scraps if you didn't like it, the style. Of course, you could always cut a 12x12 into lots of strips. Oh my gosh. And it's a little harder to use that paper up that way, but totally can. Card number 4. 1 sheet of pattern paper. Cool. Okay, this guy. This guy, we've got, you notice that it's crooked? It is. Okay, so I've got some parts in here already cut out. I thought we'd do a circle just for, you know, I like to have a base, some sort of base when I'm making some sort of cluster. I cut a smile out of some glitter paper. I did some leaves, white embossing on some black paper, and then I dolled them up a little bit, and I'll show you just a second. Oh my, I have lots of bees. So they could have all sorts of friends here. Proximity would not want that up there and have these guys down here. Looks like the components of a card to be made, but not established, right? Got another leaf here too. And put one on the inside. Think of a tree if they only if they had a group of leaves over here, and then way up here on another branch there was another group of leaves. It would just look like it doesn't belong to each other. Oh, I also had, whoops, I also have these little guys that kind of are going to frame this little crooked thing. That was going to theoretically take care of some of that spacing too. Okay, we can also do this down here. You can be down here. Smile may not be the right thing. I don't like smile, I don't think. Okay, let's go. This is too big. The ATG is going to be too big for this little bead. Otherwise, he's going to, all the glue is going to come out. Let's go ahead and clean him up that way. Accentuate his crookedness. Not on purpose. Yeah, I'm thinking too, maybe this guy is my nemesis. There's sometimes a nemesis to a card, you know? Okay, we have all these bees. Let's see what they can do. They could fly like that. Get rid of the circle. And they could just say smile. That's kind of cute. Simple. Simple and effective. Actually, I kind of like it. Got the bottom third here. He's going up there. If you had a little grid on here, you'd have a third, you'd have one at an intersection, another. Smile in the, I think that's just fine. I don't think it needs the leaves, but I still will show you what I did with those leaves because it's kind of a groovy thing. Now, if it was totally not groovy, you wouldn't see it. It's, as long as it's got a kinda in there. Okay, we gotta make sure this is in the right spot. Okay. Smile is not one of my favorite sentiments. It's like be kind. It's like you're being preachy. Smile, smile. If it just feels a little bossy. So it's not one of my favorite sentiments, but it's kind of a cute little, cute little font. So the heck, I'm going to use it. Be kind. It just sounds like you're scolding. Be kind. Are you being kind? Which I have said this before. It just doesn't seem kind to be saying. Be kind. Oh, they're so cute and happy though. They're just little darling bees. Are going down to their hives and they're just going to make that little queen bee work some more. Does she work? No, they're the drones. They do all the work. There we go. They're kind of close together, and that's okay. That makes them feel like they're a part of a group. When you know bees work together, they're all move it up just a little bit so there's a little more similarity in the spacing. There we go. And I can add some little black dots or something. That's card number 5, except it's not trimmed at the bottom. Okay, so to make these little guys, let's show you what I did because it's kind of a fun little trickaroonie. Got my white daisy dye-based ink. These are white embossed on black, and just added some white daisy dye-based ink. And so why not do it on gray? Because I still wanted the black. Because gray, it wouldn't be the same. So I do keep a dauber that is white daisy specific, and then I did do some splatters with a shimmer pen, with black shimmer pen, which is kind of a cool look. So I'll have to do something with these. Just not sure what. It may be on a red ring. It may be on an A2 size card. It may be on a 5x7. I just don't know. But it's going to be something. But now I have more. So there you go. More for everybody. Let's look at these cards one more time. I sure had a lot. This is still my least favorite, but it's over here mocking me. There we go. We've got the last one. We have the fourth one, right? We've got, did you forget this one? We've got bees with feathers. And we've got happy birthday hugs. Pretend you can see the hugs. And then we've got this guy who is still not gonna, I don't think it's gonna look like this tomorrow. It's gonna get a redo. There we go. There we go. That's 5 cards out of one piece of 12 by 12 paper. Learned how to cut 5 by 7 cards plus one A2 size card. I've got my papers right here for another set. That'll be easy for Christmas. They do have a nice big envelope for 5 by 7 cards. I like them. I like them. I think they're fun, and I wish I had my hugs because that would just make it so much better. All right. Well, I hope you got a few ideas. If you do want to learn more about the stickers, go back to Tuesday night. If you want to learn about the A2 proximity cards, go back last week. And if you want to learn about the 4 1/4 square cards, go back the week before. And if you want to learn about this whole line thing in cards, go back to last week or last month. We do want to thank our patrons because we are a community supported group. We aren't affiliated with anybody, taking or not direct sales, and we don't have any sponsors. So we want to thank you guys are making it happen. Thank you so much. And the instructions on the measurements and things like that will be in the patron account blog for tomorrow for the fun supporters and fun friends. And then we will see you on Friday night with Stacy Sansom. Sweet girl. Met her the other day, and looking forward to she's She's cool. She's a cool lady. I'm looking forward to her. So we'll see you tomorrow night on Craft Roulette. Yes, that's about does it, doesn't it? I think so. Except for this. Yeah. Guys, take care. Thank you for spending the evening with me. Go to bed, Christina, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye. Thank you.